Hey everybody, Ellen and Diva here. We are the co-creators of Warrior Combat.
Yo, yo.
And we're so excited to bring you a video for form and technique. These are our signature moves, our punches and kicks, and we want you to use this video as a reference. Watch it as many times as you need. Practice your punches and kicks while you're watching this video. The main thing is we want you to have an authentic flavor when you represent combat. All right.
Remember, team, that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So make sure to dial in your form before you start trying to add intensity.
First, we're gonna start with hand position. Diva, tell them how they need to make a fist.
Boom! Let's talk about making a fist, guys. So the first thing we want to do, we're going to wrap those knuckles. Your thumb is going to go over top. We're not tucking the thumb in. We're not putting the thumb out to the side. The thumb wraps over the top, and you want your knuckles to be square, not on an angle. Nice, flush, and square. Also, team, you want to make sure that your wrist is straight. No broken wrist down, no broken wrist up. Nice and straight. And that is how you're gonna properly make a fist.
Okay, now that you know how to make your fist, show them how to hold guard.
Your guard position, team, your hands are lined up under your cheekbones. These elbows are tucked into your side. You're gonna tilt slightly forward. The knees are bent. So you wanna make sure your hands are in a position where you can protect yourself. If you needed to go up, you could go up. You want to go down? We could go down. But what we don't want is to protect our chest, okay? Do not protect your chest. Make sure to protect your face at all times. Keep those elbows in to protect the body.
Can you mention that one thing that we sometimes see instructors do where they almost overprotect the face?
Yes. So sometimes people are like, I must protect myself at all times. And their hands do this. And they're like fighting like this. That looks more like you're terrified for your life. You want to be confident, nice open chest, hands on the side, nice and relaxed. So your hand should not be guarding your face in front of your eyes right here, always on the side of the head so you can protect the body from there.
Beautiful. So common fault so far is putting the thumb in the wrong position on the fist, having bent or broken wrists, overly guarding the face, and also dropping guard. Okay, so we've talked about all these important things already. What about our stance? How should people stand?
So let's talk about stance. So we have two things we commonly see that we don't want you to do. One, you do not want to be on what we like to call a balance beam, where both of your feet are directly behind each other, because if you're in that position, when you go to rotate, you'll be off balance. You can't move. So what I like to tell people and teach people is you're going to turn that front foot at about 45 degrees. Your rear foot, your instep, okay, is going to come in. And from there, you're going to draw and sink into position. Because from there, if you need to rotate, you can rotate without falling. If you're on that balance beam, you can't do it. You'll fall. So make sure you have a nice athletic stance, okay? And then those hands are in that guarded position. The feet should be a little wider than hip width. So we're not under our hips, right? A little wider than hip width, knees bent, leaning slightly forward.
Awesome. So common faults being on that balance beam or just having your feet too far apart or even too narrow. Okay, so now that we have our hand position, our guard, our stance, what about jab? Let's go jab cross, starting with the jab. How do we do a jab?
Jab. So your jab is always off your lead leg, team. There is no such thing as a rear jab. Jab is off the lead leg. Whether I'm on my right foot or on my left foot, if someone says to throw a jab, I know what they're talking about. So it always is the straight punch off the lead leg. You want to make sure when you throw that jab, team, that you turn, rotate over. The shoulder rotates as well. So you don't want to throw and stop and have this weird, awkward space. The shoulder rotates as well, protects the chin. The guard is down, that opposite hand is up. Snap it out, bring it back. Try not to bring it back down here. Bring it back up to your guard position.
Yeah, I like sometimes when you say pull it back, pull your punch. Yeah. Bring it out, fully extend, and then pull it back. All right, similarly, the cross.
So the cross team goes off your rear leg. Straight punch off the rear leg. So from here, you want to make sure you turn and rotate that back hip. I'm going to turn to the side. Your cross, rotating that back hip. If you do not rotate the hip, you won't reach. You can't do it, all right? So rotation is important, all right? Make sure to rotate that back hip. That arm goes straight out. Knuckles are flushing down. Shoulder rotates over to protect the chin.
Yeah, and so we love having instructors come into the Warrior Combat family, the combat crew, who don't have any boxing experience. So we love it. That's what we're here for. That's what we're making this video for. One of the common things that we see with our newer combat crew is not, notice how Diva said straight punches, strong and straight. A lot of times we see our newer instructors forgetting to fully extend, so their punches just look foreshortened and less powerful, and again, less authentic. So remember to go really, really extend. You're not locking your elbow, but almost strong and straight. Videotape yourself and pull them back. Awesome. And remember, the slow is smooth, smooth is fast that Diva mentioned. So that's, I think, why new instructors, they want to go da-da-da, but first practice really slow first. Yes. Turning the hips over. Okay, uppercuts.
Cool. Uppercut. So what you're going to do, guys, you're in your boxing stance. Your lead uppercut comes off your lead foot. Now, notice the hip does rotate, and it comes back to the face. So you don't want to wind up that uppercut, okay? So we're not dropping it down to punch somebody. For now, it's important that
you're not going to do this thing?
No, we're not okie doke corral. So you want to make sure you drop, keep it tight. And that rear uppercut, same thing. Remember I told you, if you're on a balance beam, you can't rotate. So you'll know right away if you're in the appropriate position, okay? So that rear uppercut comes off that rear leg, knee is bent, hip rotates forward and through, hand in that guard position, coming through. When I go back to my stance, I'm back here.
Yeah. And just to bring it back to the jab and cross, the strike surface is, of course, across the front of the knuckles. The knuckles should look straight as opposed to kind of at an angle. And the strike target of our imaginary opponent is like their nose on the jab and cross, but on the uppercut, we're aiming for
under the chin.
Okay, hooks.
Hooks. So you have your lead hook and your rear hook. There are two types of hook, but for this purpose, guys, we're going to do what's called a long hook. Okay, so that means your knuckles are going to face out to the side, not like this. It's not that this is wrong. This is not what we're doing in combat, okay? This is a long hook. So with a long hook, you want to pick the elbow up and turn it over. It goes up, over, and out. All right, so again, the hip rotates. Same thing from the back. Up, over, and out. Notice it's away from the body. So sometimes people like to bring that hook in really close, and you want to think like you're going to hit somebody in the side of their head, in the temple. So it has to be open so you can reach.
So the common faults, bringing it in too close to the chest and also swinging it wildly out around the side, making wild swings. Just boom, do that thing.
Oh, do the thing? So to check if you're throwing, honestly, any of your punches properly, I should be able to throw my hook without coming out and knocking into her. It's that close. Same thing with my jab and cross. I should be, you can stand back here. I should be able to throw without doing this. So you're never picking your elbow up and out to throw a punch. It's straight ahead.
Okay.
The thing.
Let's head into
what we got?
Knees. Lead knee and rear knee.
Lead knee, rear knee. All right, so your guard is up, team. Your lead knee comes off the lead foot. All right. Now, you'll see different formats do different things with dropping and throwing the hands. We do not do that in combat. We stay guarded. We stay tight. Lead knee. Your rear knee comes off that back foot, and the hip is going to come through. and goes back to your stance. All right, so making sure, guys, that when you do those knees, get them nice and high as you can. Think about the guard staying here as if you were going to grab the back of somebody's head and pull them into your knee. That'll help you. It'll give you a better target.
Strike surface right there, and I like to imagine towards like the groin or stomach of
That
my
work?
opponent.
Groin storm work?
All right,
What a chin.
lead kick.
Cool. So your lead kick. Your lead foot in the front. I'll do both legs. So when we do our lead kick, guys, you're going to come off that front foot. Lift the knee, extend, put it back down. What is your contact point? The ball of the foot, not the heel of the foot. That's a different type of kick. Okay, so again, ball of the foot, and put your foot down. The thing with kicks that is super important, you want to always put your feet back where they came from. Because if you don't, it kind of twists you up, all right? So if this is the position my foot came from on my lead kick, I put it back. I'm not going to kick and then swing out to the side or something, because then I don't know where I am in space. So always put your foot back where you came from.
And I'm going to have her do that again and have you guys watch the way she actually, I like to call it the way Diva settles, but it's basically like she's reestablishing her weight balance in her stance. But you actually see her take a time to do it. So show the lead kick, and I'm going to just have them watch the way you pull it back to a perfect stance. Boom.
Don't feel like you can't reset your feet. You can always reset your body.
Yeah, and in fact, if you don't reset the feet and your weight balance properly, then doing the next move we have for you in the choreography, you won't be balanced for it. You might lose your balance. It might look, your form might come out poorly. So take the time as you practice to always reset. Okay, let's go ahead and take it to a back kick.
All right, back kick. So what you're going to do, guys, remember we're off that balance beam. We're in our boxing stance. When we do a back kick, we're going to shift to the back. We're going to kick out through the heel. The contact point is different. So I'm going to shift in, extend out, and put it back, okay? So the hip, the foot is out at about, I guess that's technically a 45. Technically 45 degrees, but you want to make sure that you bring that leg in, extend, and put it down. In combat, we always like to add a back fist to ours, so you will see that quite frequently. Also, always look at your target. You are not Bruce Lee. Look at your target. See where you're going.
But just so they don't confuse it with the side kick, because we haven't been there yet, I know you're giving profile, but since we're facing the camera, can you just show how it would look if you were facing the class or they were facing you? And let me get out of the way. Boom, yeah. Boom. And then speak to the direction of the palm and the knuckles on the back fist, please.
So in the back fist, it's an extension. You want the knuckles facing sideways. You're up. Your thumb is wrapped around the hands. So I'll turn to the back. So same thing. Your back fist extends this way, not down, this way. You want to hit them with the back of your fist.
Okay. Let's take it to a stomp kick.
I know, these are your favorite.
Oh, they're so powerful.
They are. So a stomp kick, in combat we call them a stomp kick. You'll see them in different formats. They're called TB kicks or things like that. But what you're going to do, bring those hands in. You're going to lift the knee, push through, and come back. Your contact point is the heel of the foot. Just stand here. I'm not going to kick you hard. Maybe. All right. So I'll do it this way so you can see my hip come through. You want to chamber the knee, push through the heel of the foot. All right. So your target on your stomp kick, you're thinking ideally stomach, chest. Okay. It's very powerful. You want to make sure you push them off of you and set your feet.
Excellent. And I think a lot of new instructors are like, okay, stomp kick, it comes off the back leg, it's really powerful, and boom. But then they put the foot here as opposed to resetting back into that stance. So again, if we don't finish the stomp kick by resetting, then we're not in the right position for the next move. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, side kick.
Side kick. So when you go from our boxing stance, when we side kick, this front foot is going to turn in just slightly to open the hips and create space. You're going to turn, push, in. Sorry, I fell out of that. Step back. One more time. Turn, and back. Notice I still reset my feet. Okay, I'll do the other leg. Make sure you turn in. Now, if you feel like you're off balance, I always tell people, once you do the side kick, if you have to tap the reset, that's fine, but don't hang out there. It's a kick. Again, we're not Bruce Lee. You're not trying to like do some crazy balance trick. Hit your target, reset your feet.
Boom, yeah. Okay, switch kick.
Switch kick. So when we teach the switch kick, the first thing we like to teach is your level 1 or the beginner position for that would be step back, step front. You open that heel, kick, step, step. So one more time, step back, step front, kick, step, step. Your contact point for the switch kick is the shin, not the top of the foot. All right? If you're doing it full out with the switch kick, you would switch, kick, oops, step, step. One more time, switch, kick, step, step.
Awesome, yeah. So just think about on the switch kick that your leg and hip are coming around, so it's less forward. It's just a different angle than the other kicks that we've showed you before. So I was practicing when I was starting with a stool and just bringing it over the stool. All right, let's take it to front kick. So every once in a while, for the sake of fitness,
front kicks. So front kicks always happen from our center stance, okay? Because there is no lead or rear in this position. So your front kick is going to be from your center stance. Your guard is going to be up unless there's something that tells otherwise. And again, the ball of the foot is the contact point.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of front kicks in our choreography, almost as like a filler move. We're out of our right lead, we're out of our left lead, we're literally center square, hips and shoulders. So this is like a deviation from the authentic flavor, but it's very fitness oriented. So think coming up out of a burpee or something like that where we're square and we just want to add a little boxing, a little flavor. All right, almost there, slip and roll. Let's play defense.
Slip and roll. All right, guys, you're slip and roll. So you're in your position. So you'll hear, sometimes you'll see in the notes we talk about rolling inside and outside. So inside is always towards the rear leg, outside. Now, you want to think about coming up. There's like an imaginary line here, and your goal is to come up on the other side of it, theoretically. All right? But what we don't want to start doing is, all right? So keep your hands up, stay tight. Think about you're just trying to get out of the way of a punch, okay? We just want to get out of the way of a punch.
All right, we're gonna finish it up with our elbows. We've got a couple different series that we're gonna show you, starting with our up elbows from the lead and the rear, upward slashing elbows.
Okay, up slashing elbows. So whenever you throw elbows, the hands are relaxed. You don't have to make tight fists. Hands are relaxed because your contact point is the elbow. So your lead elbow goes straight up. You want to think like you're driving right up under somebody's chin. Your rear elbow will do the same thing. All right, so up, up. The hand is going to stay close to the body, almost touches that back shoulder, back of that shoulder, and then back to your stance. The hips have to move because otherwise it looks like this, okay? So you need to have some power. Move the hips.
All right, let's take it right into lead and rear side slashing elbows.
Side slashing elbow. So side slashing elbow. What you want to do, guard is up. Now your forearm becomes your contact point. Hand relaxes in the center of the chest and you turn. From the rear, same thing. That hand goes into the center of my chest and I turn. Now, the thing that's important, a lot of people ask, well, why is that different from a hook? This is a hook, space, right? This is an elbow. Okay, so the hook is here, the elbow is there. That's the difference. They're not the same thing.
Similar looking almost, but with some very key distinctions. So that's a look at our signature or foundational warrior combat moves, meaning kicks, punches. Thank you so much for spending the time with us to work on honing your craft.